Greetings, my name is David Ribble. I'm a biology professor at Trinity University, and I want to spend some time talking with you about things to look for in a biology program at an undergraduate institution. And I'm going to promote what we do at Trinity University, and hopefully you'll give us a shot as you think about where you want to study biology for college. Now, I think there are three things that you need to pay close attention to as you look at colleges to study biology. The first is looking carefully at their curriculum. Secondly, are the faculty. And thirdly, their facilities. All right? And so what I'd like to do here in the next 10 minutes or so is talk about all of these as they relate to what we do at Trinity University. Now for curriculum, I think it's vitally important that a modern biology curriculum in the 21st century be two things. It needs to be flexible and it needs to be interdisciplinary. I say this because regardless of what you're going to use your biology degree for, whether it's to go into industry, whether it's to go work for nonprofits, whether it's to go into graduate school, professional schools, what have you, all of these professions demand that you understand different sciences and even understand things outside of the sciences, because so many of the problems, whether it be health-related, environmental related, require that you interact with other disciplines, because that's where the solutions are. So at Trinity, when we think about this flexibility and we think about our curriculum, we are a little biology-centric. So I'm going to start with this here at the middle and for a biology degree. But we interact with three main programs at Trinity, three main majors. First one is environmental studies. Okay. Many of the faculty in the biology department also teach courses in the interdisciplinary environmental studies major, and the environmental studies students take a lot of biology classes. And so this is an important area of interaction and provides for a really important area of interdisciplinarity. A relatively new program that emphasizes interdisciplinarity is our neuroscience program. Okay, neuroscience is a joint program between biology, psychology, chemistry, and a little bit of physics. And this is a relatively new program in the last 10 years or so, which of course has benefited by all the great discoveries that have been made in neuroscience. And this is a very popular program with a lot of our students. And lastly, one of our oldest areas of interdisciplinary interactions is our biochemistry and molecular biology major. This is a joint degree or a joint program between biology and chemistry that we've long emphasized. It's a program that's been experiencing growth. It's really an important area of modern biochemistry and molecular biology that calls on fields of modern chemistry and modern biology. And this is a very active area of interdisciplinarity in the sciences. Now, biology also has peripheral relationships with, for example, geosciences, physics and astronomy, okay, we also have a minor that we share with biomathematics, okay, and this is for, we have actually funds that support research with students that work with biology and math people. We have an urban studies program that we interact with a bit. Okay, I could probably go on and think of other programs in which some of our students take their courses and vice versa. So in addition to this biology-centric world, there's some interesting things going on at Trinity that I think encompass all of this. One of these is the development of a entrepreneurship program. Okay, it's entrepreneurship and innovation technically. It's a minor, but it's a program that's centered in the sciences, all right? And we tend to think of entrepreneurship in terms of business, but a lot of those business products are derived from scientific ideas, all right, firstly. But secondly, entrepreneurship can also be social entrepreneurship. So if, for example, you're interested in promoting some sort of conservation effort, raising funds, you're interested in environmental studies, it's a great way to entertain different ideas with different people. It's all about ideas and so forth. Then lastly, something that encompasses all of this, which I think is an important part of interdisciplinarity, is sustainability. All of our programs at Trinity in the Sciences value sustainability, teaching about sustainability, learning about sustainability, and that's also transmits to our facilities, which I'll talk about in a minute, in that we think it's very important that we in South Texas set a standard for how we should be treating our environment. So the curriculum then at Trinity is based on this fundamental flexibility, this fundamental interdisciplinary approach. And so when you come, if you were interested in biology, maybe you end up majoring in biology, but then maybe you might end up majoring in environmental studies or neuroscience or biochemistry and molecular biology. You're going to be taking some of the same classes, or you can stay with biology and continue to sample from all these different areas of interdisciplinarity. So that's our curriculum. Now let's talk a little bit then about faculty. Faculty at Trinity are what are known as teacher scholars. And by teacher scholars, I mean the faculty are expected to be scholars in their respective fields. They're expected to publish. They're expected to discover new information, etc. But they're also expected to be good teachers. So we hold those two equal. But we also are very interested in how the teacher-scholar mold translates into educating our students for the 21st century. So, for example, a scholar can bring the latest findings into the classroom. All right, that's an obvious point. But particularly in the sciences, what's important as well is that it allows a faculty member to bring in modern approaches, modern equipment, modern questions into the classroom, and so that the classroom becomes almost a laboratory in and of itself. And in fact, many of our labs, teaching labs, are now more research-based than they are the traditional teaching-based. So faculty are readily available to students. We have lots of office hours, and that's really important for the classes. But the scholar part also provides opportunities for research. And the undergraduate research piece is a huge part of what studying science is all about at Trinity, and certainly part of what biology is about. So in our modern facilities and with this equipment, faculty can engage undergraduates with our research agendas and research programs. And keep in mind, we have no graduate students, so undergraduates are our colleagues. They're the ones that we work with in the lab, that we train on the equipment, that we train out in the field to use the different kinds of approaches that we use in the sciences. This is important for students not only because they're learning it, but we take it the next step, and that is that students are active in presenting the findings of their results, both at meetings. So shown here are two students that worked with one of our faculty members to study anolis lizards in the Caribbean. And what's interesting is both these students are neuroscience majors. And what does that have to do with lizards? Well, the faculty member interested in lizards is interested in how different brains have evolved in different species of lizards and how it relates to their habitat. So these two students then got the chance to do that, to travel, experience that, and then come back and make presentations in both national as well as in some cases international meetings. The next step then is to actually publish those results, and that is the ultimate thing that we shoot for with our research. And just in the last 2 years alone, over 18 of our undergraduates published in the scientific peer-reviewed literature, some of these really prestigious journals, with our faculty. And so this is something that will carry forward with them and really can benefit them for all sorts of professional, graduate school, et cetera, opportunities. It really shows, what we can do with our students and what they're capable of doing. Now, these research experiences can vary from laboratory experiences. Like I mentioned, we have modern equipment. We have one of the best confocal microscopes in all of San Antonio. You name it, we pretty much have access to it in our new facilities. But then we also have students that are traveling abroad. In this case, in Puerto Rico, studying lizards. We've taken students to Mexico, Canada. We have plans to take students to China. So there are also opportunities to travel abroad and do research. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about are the facilities. And at Trinity, we just completed what's known as the Center for the Sciences and Innovation, CSI. It's kind of a funny name, but it's an appropriate name, and I hope you'll see why. We had three main goals with this facility. It was a $127 million building. It was completed just a couple years ago. And we had three main goals. The first goal was interdisciplinarity. And by interdisciplinarity, what we've done is we've knocked down walls, we've tried to interdigitate departments, approaches, we've built different departments next to each other so that people are running into each other and finding out what people are doing, and emphasize the importance of the different sciences. A second objective then behind this building, besides interdisciplinarity, was transparency. And you see in this picture, for example, the amount of glass from the outside looking in, but also inside there's glass everywhere. We think it's very important to share the excitement of science, to share a community feeling. And it's not only important to look into our labs, but it's also important to look out and share with your friends what you're doing. So interdisciplinarity is the first, then we have transparency. So in the transparency, you see some of the glass there on the right, but the transparency also translates into study spaces where students can come. We want this to be their home, and it's not just for science students. In fact, all students from all campus are welcome, and people use this as a resource, which is exactly what we wanted this to be. Then the final piece of this building is sustainability. This building is certified at the LEED Gold level, and we have all sorts of energy systems. We have water systems that are unique for South Texas. And then shown here is our green roof. On top of our Innovation Center, as part of this, we have a green roof that is really one of a kind in South Texas. South Texas gets harsh, very hot during the summer months, but we have a lot of soil. We've utilized only native plants that we grew up ourselves in our own greenhouse to demonstrate the importance of natives, how they survive well in this environment, but also how a green roof can be a beautiful showcase piece that provides insulation. It filters water as it runs off the roof, and there's all sorts of benefits. So we're really proud of the way our building is a laboratory in itself that sort of emphasizes this sustainability piece. So the last thing, which I don't have mentioned here, is of course the students, and that's you. If you're the kind of student that likes what I'm talking about, I think you can see that you will find other students that like to collaborate, that like to explore different areas, that are interested in interdisciplinary in a community. And our students are, of course, what holds this all together. So we hope that you'll give us a look, and wherever you end up at college, we wish you the best of luck. And thank you for listening to this.